There's a road in western Nepal that was carved into a cliff by hand. Not by machines, by men with hammers and chisels dangling from ropes. It took years. Several people died. But when it was finished, a village that had been a 7-day walk from the nearest hospital could finally be reached by a truck. This is what it means to build roads in Nepal, the most extreme terrain on earth, one of the lowest road densities in South Asia, and some of the most ambitious engineering projects the Himalayas have ever seen. To understand Nepal's road problem, look at the map. The country is basically a wall, the southern strip. The Terai is flat, fertile, and relatively easy to build on. Then everything changes. Within 100 kilometers, you go from 100 meters above sea level to 8,000. Building a road in the plains costs a fraction of what it costs in the mountains. In the hills, you need retaining walls, drainage systems, landslide protection, tunnels, bridges across gorges. A single kilometer of mountain road can cost 5 to 10 times more than a kilometer in the Terai, and takes far longer. This isn't a political problem, it's a physics problem. Nepal has 3 great highway projects that define its infrastructure ambitions. The Hulaki, the postal highway, runs across the flat Terai around 1016 kilometers, connecting the most densely populated region of the country. It's the easiest of the 3 to build. The Pushpala Mid-Hill Highway is a different story. Nearly 179 kilometers through the hills and middle mountains, connecting 26 districts and 10 million people. Construction began in 2007. After nearly 2 decades, it's roughly 78% complete, stalled repeatedly by land disputes, landslides, and contractor failures. And then there are the north-south corridors, roads aimed at the Chinese border, the subject of Scene 6. Each of these highways is not just asphalt, it's a lifeline. The future of Nepali roads is not just on the surface, it's underground. The Nagdhunga Tunnel, Nepal's first mountain road tunnel, is nearly complete after 6 years of construction. It's a 2.688-kilometer bore through the mountain that has caused deadly landslides and traffic chaos for decades. The main tunnel broke through in April 2024. When it opens, targeted for late 2025 or early 2026, it will cut the mountain crossing to under 10 minutes, saving an estimated 1.7 billion rupees in fuel and tire costs annually. Funded primarily through Japanese development loans and built by Japanese contractor Hazama Ando, it represents a fundamental shift. Instead of fighting the mountain, Nepal is learning to go through it. This is just the beginning. Nepal is entering what engineers are calling its tunnel age. Let's be honest about the cost. Building roads in the Himalayas is dangerous. Landslides kill workers every monsoon season. In 2024 alone, particularly severe October rains triggered landslides around the Nagdhunga site that buried buses and cut off emergency vehicles from Kathmandu. And there's an environmental and community cost too. Near the Nagdhunga Tunnel, local residents filed formal complaints with GSE in 2025 over dried springs, groundwater depletion, and house cracks they link to tunnel construction. It's a reminder that every infrastructure project affects people beyond the construction site. Engineers now promote green road approaches, minimizing cuts, using local materials, planting vegetation on exposed slopes. But the balance between connecting people and protecting the land they live on is never simple. Roads in Nepal are never just roads, they are geopolitical chess pieces. India has historically been Nepal's primary infrastructure partner, funding roads, bridges, and cross-border connections that tie the two economies together. On the other side, China's Belt and Road Initiative has invested in Nepal's northern corridors, roads leading to passes like Rasuagadi and Kerala. The Kaligandaki corridor is a perfect example, a 435-kilometer route that connects Sunoli on the Indian border to Kerala in the north, effectively linking India to China through the heart of Nepal. Track opening began in 2010. Blacktopping is still underway over a decade later. When complete, it will give about 1 million people in 10 districts their first motorable road and become one of the few nation transit routes on earth. For Nepal, that means one thing: the chance to stop being landlocked and become land-linked. Forget geopolitics for a moment. What does a road actually mean for a village? It means a pregnant woman can reach a hospital instead of giving birth at home on a dirt floor. It means a farmer can sell vegetables in a market town instead of watching them rot. It means when disaster strikes, help can arrive in hours instead of days. Nepal has over 6 hours in rural roads, most of them unpaved, many impassable during monsoon. A Department of Roads survey found that half the population in hill areas still walks more than 2 hours to reach a strategic road. The difference between a village with a road and a village without one is difference between isolation and connection, between poverty and possibility. Despite all this progress, huge gaps remain. There are villages in Nepal's far west that are still a week's walk from the nearest road, The districts of Dolpa Humla, Mugu, some of the most remote places on earth, have no all-weather road connectivity. Supplies come by plane, by helicopter, by more. The government's target is ambitious all-weather connectivity for every municipality. But with contractor failures piling up, in October 2025, the government terminated over 50 stalled road contracts, including sections of the Pushpalal highway. And with funding shortfalls, terrain and monsoon damage eating into progress every year, it will take decades. Every road that gets built in Nepal is a small miracle, and every village still waiting knows it. So, what does the future look like? More tunnels, less surface road, more green engineering, fewer scars on the mountain, a shift from quantity to quality, fewer roads that last rather than more roads that wash away every monsoon, and a slow but steady march toward the day when every child in Nepal can reach a school, every patient can reach a hospital, every farmer can reach a market. The Nagdhunga Tunnel, whenever it fully opens, is the symbol of that shift. A country that once had no tunnels choosing to go through the mountain rather than over it. The roads of Nepal are not just concrete and asphalt, they are a statement. We will not be separated by geography. We will not be isolated by mountains. We will find a way through them, under them, around them, because on the other side of every road is a life waiting to be connected.